Hey guys, it's Jackson here from Titanic Games, and today we're going to be looking at creating some basic AI in Unreal Engine 4. Now, before I get started, there are two ways to kind of go about this. The first is using something called a behavior tree, which I'm not going to be showing in this tutorial, but I will be kind of doing some more tutorials on it later. And the other way is just to kind of put all your AI logic in a regular old character or pawn blueprint. So both of them, work well, but they just have their own advantages or disadvantages, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is in the content browser, we're going to right-click. We're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this AI, and this is where we're going to put all of our stuff related to our AI. So we'll go into the folder, right-click again, create a blueprint class, and we want to click this little drop-down here for all classes, and we're going to search for AI controller. Okay, so we'll go ahead and select that. We'll open it up, or not open it up, but select it, and then we'll name this BP underscore, I guess AI controller. Yeah, not a super creative name, but whatever. So I'll open it up just to show you what's in it, but really it's more of just a kind of data blueprint, not really a visual thing. This is all the setup we're going to have on ours. We're not going to do anything else. But if you were to, say, have a behavior tree, you'd go to the event graph. Off of event begin play, you'd say, like run behavior tree, and you could do that. But anyways, we're just going to leave the event graph blank, and we can close out of this. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is create our character. So I'm going to right-click really quick, create a blueprint class of type actor, and we'll call this I guess just AI character. Okay. Now we'll open him up, and we'll just make him show up now. So we'll click the mesh, go to skeletal mesh. We'll choose the SK mannequin. Now I am using the third-person example, so you may or may not have this guy, but just add whatever works. Then for anim class, we'll choose third-person anim BP. Okay, so we'll reposition him so he's facing the arrow. Select the capsule component, change it to like 96 by 40. That should be good. All right, and next we'll go to our self. Okay, and over in the details panel under pawn, we want to find AI controller class. Okay, so we'll click that, and we will choose the AI controller that we just made. So this BP AI controller. Alright, next what we want to do is add a component called pawn sensing. Right, and if we compile and save now and click on this, you'll see that it shows all this, all these kind of spherical lines of different colors. And basically what each of them are is, this first line here is this hearing threshold. And you can kind of read over what these are, but adjusting the value increases or decreases it. Same with this one. And then there's the sight radius, which is how far the AI can see. So right now it's set to 5,000, which is a pretty good distance. Pretty fair, I think, or realistic. Next thing to look at is the peripheral vision angle, and that's kind of the angle that he sees at, right? So as you adjust it, it narrows how much around him he can see. So I usually like to go I like to go between 45 and 55. I guess it's a little more realistic that way. So yeah, anyways, there we go. We can hit compile and save now. So now we're going to go over our actual AI behavior. So let's go to the event graph, and we're going to delete these two, okay, because we don't need them, but we will use the event begin play. But the first thing we're going to do is right click and create a custom event. We'll call this move to random location. Okay. Now from move to random location, we are going to move our AI, and there's already a node built into Unreal for that, which is really helpful. So we can drag off and say AI move to. Okay, AI move to, and this is going to ask for a pawn, a destination, and a target actor, and some other stuff. So basically, what the pawn is wanting is it's wanting us to tell this this node which AI is supposed to move. So in this case, it's going to be our self. So we'll drag off, and say self. And then it asks for a destination and target actor. All right, so both of these are kind of the points that this AI will move to. Okay, so you usually only want to have one or the other. Or maybe you could have like a branch specifying which one you pick, maybe. But anyways, for this tutorial, we're just going to be, choosing a random point to kind of move to, a random location. Okay, so we'll take our destination here, drag off, and we'll say get random point. Get random point in the navigable radius. Okay, so we'll click that one, and basically this is going to get us a random point from our origin within a certain radius. Okay, so I'm going to set the radius to something like 500 for now. And now for the origin, we are going to drag off and say get actor location. Alright, so basically every time this event gets called, it's going to take his location, find a random point within 500 units from around him, and then move there. Alright, so now off of event begin play, we just need to call this event. Okay, so let's compile and save now. Now if we go back to our editor, we can drag the character in and just drop him. But now if I press play, you'll see he's not moving. Alright, and that's because we don't have what's called a NavMesh. And basically a NavMesh is what allows AI to be able to navigate around in 3D space. So we'll go to volumes here to find our NavMesh. Okay, and you can go down and you should find NavMesh bounds volume. So you can take that, drag it in, it doesn't matter where. And basically, if you want to kind of visualize, where the NavMesh data is, you can hit the P key, and that should show this little green kind of, material color, whatever you want to call it. And now if I start changing the, kind of the dimensions, you'll see that it starts to change the kind of the area covered in green. So basically whatever's covered in green is where the AI can walk. All right, and you might notice that it is changing to red there, and that means the AI, or it's just recalculating usually. As long as everything is green, it should be good. If something is red, that means the AI can't move there, or the NavMesh data is bad. But anyways, now we have our NavMesh, so our AI should be able to navigate around. So if we press play, you see he moves once, which is great. Press it again, he just barely moved, but he still moved. All right, but he is only moving once, and that's not entirely helpful, so let's go ahead and make him move a couple times. Let's go back to the, we'll go back to our AI, and on success, right? On success is called when he reaches this point. Okay, so on success, we're simply going to call this event again. So we'll say move to random location. Now one thing about this is it's going to call it immediately after he reaches this point. So if you want to have like a bit of a a wait period before your AI moves again, you could drag off and say delay, and then specify how long you want him to wait for. So we'll just say like a second. All right, so that's kind of the setup right there. So now if we compile and save, we go and test this out, hit play. See, he moves, waits for a second, and then goes and finds another location. And there we go. So we've got a basic AI who roams around, super cool. But yeah, really that's the basics for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'll show you guys how to kind of make him chase the character, as well as maybe patrol between 2 points. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.